Well, in the minds of some people, you're as much to blame for our fall from preeminence as the Japanese. Well, you've lobbied for them on the Hill. You've helped them gobble up pieces of this country from Manhattan to L.A. You're the enemy, Kay.
I haven't done anything to hurt this country.
Did you, or did you not, use your lobbying skills to facilitate the sale of technology to Japan, resulting in their developing the FSX fighter?
That was a deal. That's business. That's what I do. Don't try to equate me with arms for hostages or the Rosenbergs.
To you, it's business. To some people, it's the flag. Now, if we don't find that plane before Getzlaf's trade bill passes, that money will be released. The only thing that'll be left after that is nailing you to the cross.
I have never felt so helpless in my entire life. I hate it. My mother was a very successful novelist. Did you know that, Vince?
No. I don't know much about you at all.
She wrote exceptionally strong characters. Interesting, complex, powerful people. Men and women. After her third novel was published, she went into a debilitating depression. Committed suicide.
I'm sorry.
Her note said that she had lost control of her characters and they were controlling her. She couldn't live with that. Struykin wanted me to see Wilson. He manipulated my being here.
Yeah. Okay, Frank. Well, Frank's looking for that plane, but it's an awful big world out there, and we may have run out of time.
Why?
The trade bill hit the Senate floor 10 minutes ago.
Package for Gallagher.
There have been cries of protectionism through the corridors of the Dirksen building, but I don't think those voices will be heard here today because this bill speaks for the American citizen. Too long suffering, too many unemployed, and too damn mad to sit silently and watch their representatives bury them any longer in a flood of foreign commerce. This trade bill speaks for the American citizen who is no longer willing to be penalized for the barbaric labor practices of alien nations.
Thanks.
Wake up, Harry. There isn't a man or woman in this chamber who doesn't know that this nation is fed up and ready to say to the world, and yes, specifically Japan, ready to say to them, if you're not letting us sell our goods, we're not letting you sell yours.
Will the gallery please refrain from any form of demonstration?
There might be 1,500 C-130s in service.
How many of them have blacked out forward compartment windows?
Frank, I need to see you privately.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mark.
I need an update on Terranova's investigation.
You know I cannot do that.
Damn it! I make members of my department available to the National Security Commission, and now I'm shut out of what is obviously a critical matter. I'm your superior. You report to me.
It's national security. I'm not in a position to disclose to anyone outside the loop. You understand that?
Yes, I do. Sure you understand my concern.
I do, DeWitt. I understand.
Forgive me for pulling rank. It was an overreaction.
Hey, Frank. Did we find the C-130?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's coming apart.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you only follow orders. Did we find the plane?
No, not yet.
What about the trade bill?
It's moving through the Senate like a freight train.
The time has come for us to fire an economic volley across the bow of the Japanese juggernaut of unfair trade relations. I'm proud to affirm this bill with my vote. I only wish it were a declaration of...
Delaney's with me on this.
I
Yes.
share deeply the sentiments of my esteemed...
I'm damned
colleagues
ashamed of it, too.
It's gonna
The
pass.
time has
President's
come
gonna
for this
sign it.
body to act decisively, to send a resounding message to Japan and the rest of the nations on the Pacific Rim that the days of America...
You vote your conscience, Obadiah. All I ask is that you do it quietly.
Trading advantages in their backyards, and we sure as hell shouldn't grant them in ours. Protectionism is not the issue.
It's grossly unfair to keep me in the dark, Walter. OCB is my section, and I'm shut out from what is quickly becoming a singular preoccupation.
Clip, accept my assurance. Nothing is being done to you. It's a matter of...
National security, I know. I never thought I'd become annoyed at hearing that term. Can't you see that at the very least, this situation is becoming embarrassing?
No one is embarrassing you.
And at most, I feel culpable.
A grave matter is at hand, which you will be made party to in a matter of days, perhaps hours. Its impact, should we not be able to stop it, will be felt by nations. And your brooding and complaining are inconsequential in the face of that. Come in.
Commander Nelson.
Thank you. Sit down. It's more than I hoped for. Clip, there is something you can do for me, but you must do it personally. Go to a magistrate and get him to issue a warrant to search the offices of Tenzer, Kurtzman, and Lloyd.
What are we looking for?
I'll let you know when to act on the warrant. Thank you, Clip.
All my calls, Phyllis. Let me know when we're back on the floor. Gentlemen.
Sir.
Have a seat.
Thanks.
The bill ought to clear the Senate by early evening.
What about the debate?
There's no debate. There is a long line of sheep buying their approval and righteous indignation. It's a perfect populist cause, Frank. And that sweet puddin' of sunshine, Janet Getzloff, is the grand mistress of jingoistic rabble-rousing. Now, where do you think I stand if I go against it? Which I will, up to my butt in mud. Oh, don't think I won't get a thrashing back home for going against this tide.
Well, Senator, you can't just vote no and go home and think you've done your duty.
I have in the past, and I will in the future.
Hey, Frank, help me out here. Am I hearing this right? We're crumbling at the feet of corrupt men. He wants to go home and put on his slippers. You know, you sit there and you spout your cornpone wisdom. You get your picture taken on a tractor and you get another 6 years in the club.
Vince,
Works so far.
Hi, good for you.
You do get agitated.
Hey, you're perceptive, too.
Vince?
This is my 32nd year in the Senate, son. I like to think I've done some good now and again. Learned some things, too, like you don't achieve much blowing steam without direction.
Senator, the passage of the trade bill, coupled with the release of counterfeit currency, is the equivalent of launching a war.
Nothing is the equivalent of war. I've been through 3 of them. 2 as a foot soldier.
There is a C-130 transport plane somewhere along the Pacific Rim. Now, we believe there is 20 tons of counterfeit yen on board. Now, that's not an easy plane to hide, Senator, but we do need time to find it.
How much time? An hour, a day, a week?
You can delay the bill.
I'm too damn old.
Oh, come on. You're the biggest windbag I've ever met in my life.
Vince, that's enough.
Son, I don't know that my heart could stand it. And I'm certain my bladder can't.
So we'll get you a catheter.
I've done a lot of things for my country. That would be a first.
Senator, please. Now, Leland Masters is in the White House right now, anticipating the first salvo of his last crusade.
You're tilting at windmills.
I'm just trying to do what's right.
Sorry. It's all right, Frank. I was young and idealistic myself.
Yes, sir. I know. I know very well. So it's true, Senator. With age comes the inevitable loss of ideals.
I guess I'm fresh out of corn-pone responses.
Yes, sir.
To speak directly to the American public. To explain how we conduct business is an integral part of our tradition and culture.
Mr. Kurata, aside from Christmas, Easter, and the World Series, the American public doesn't give a damn about tradition. America grew up rejecting its ancestors. We're a nation of immigrants. Ancestral tradition and culture were oppressive mechanisms for our forefathers. If they found those values a comfort, do you think they would have immigrated? You need to give the appearance of a willingness to play fair. Otherwise, I'm going to have to resign your account. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Kurata. I don't see another option.
Why is negative?